Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Deluxe Class Crosshairs from Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy. Really nice box art here on the side of the box, and as probably many of you can tell, this is a remold slash repaint of Ironhide slash Ratchet. We've already gotten this mold twice, but I think it's actually a pretty good use of the mold. Not so much the vehicle mode, but I think the robot mode really does look like Crosshairs, and I'm just happy to get some Autobot Target Masters because I've wanted them since Titan's Return slash Legends. So I'm happy to just finally get an Autobot Target Master. Fingers crossed we get the other two. We'll see how that goes. But as you can see, here's the robot mode. Here is the vehicle mode. A lot of people are still hoping that they redo this as Snowcat from Energon, which would be the 4th time using the mold. But I don't care. I'd still buy it. It's like the Prowl mold that they use 4 times. But if you come up with good ideas and good uses, you can definitely trick me into buying them. So let's go ahead, let's get this guy out of the box, and we'll take a closer look. So here he is out of the packaging. And I think he looks really good in this color scheme. I think this mold actually really works for Crosshairs. They definitely gave him a more cartoon-accurate head sculpt as opposed to the original toy-accurate head sculpt, which is actually surprising for Hasbro because usually Takara is the one leaning more towards the cartoon and Hasbro is leaning more towards the original toy. But I actually applaud them because I think he looks better with the cartoon accurate head. I think it's just a little bit more personality. It's exactly the same mold as Ratchet and Ironhide, so the articulation is the same. You got a ball joint here for the head, spin here for the shoulder, out to the side for the shoulder, bicep swivel 90 degrees in the elbow there. You can swivel the wrists like so. You can swivel the waist. You have a typical joint here in the hip where you can swivel around as well as out to the side. Thigh swivel 90 degrees in the knee, and then you have the ankle tilt. But they did a pretty good job, especially with the stickers down here on the shins, of replicating what the original toy looked like. He definitely had very similar stickers here on his shins, which is pretty cool. And then the inside of this area is white, because the original toy had kind of a painted, solid painted white like canopy section, cockpit section, whatever you want to call it. So they painted the inside white and then made that clear to kind of simulate that, which I think they did a good job. I think that really works. And I really, really like that head sculpt. It's simple, but I really like it. I think it's awesome. So yeah, again, I think this mold, I like this mold a lot. I loved it for Ironhide. I absolutely loved it for Ratchet. I think it works well. Again, here is Crosshairs. Love this color scheme. And it's great articulation. Plenty of connection points for any Battle Masters or Micro Masters or any such weaponizers, things like that that you want to use. Definitely works out. So for his accessory, they give him the same kind of hammer slash bazooka weapon that they give to Ironhide, which is perfectly good. You know, you can put it in here as a hammer. You can connect it like this as a large bazooka type weapon. You can break plastic off all over the place. Anyway, it's okay. I don't mind it. But one thing I am going to show you, because I'm actually really excited about this, his Target Master partner, Pinpointer, does exist. Back at the tail end of the Legends line that Takara did, which was basically their version of Titan's Return, really Combiner Wars, Titan's Return, all that stuff they had under the Legends line. And because they made the Decepticon Target Masters, Takara made their Target Master partners for them, and they were released as part of Legends. They never got around to the Autobot Target Masters, but they did make their Target Master partners, and they packed them in with Twin Twist, Top Spin, and Windblade at the very end of the Legends line. So Pinpointer came with Windblade. So if you have Legends Windblade, you have Pinpointer, and you can actually now reunite these two, and they look awesome together. You have Crosshairs and Pinpointer as they were meant to be, although never released as part of Legends together. And then we can go ahead and transform this guy. Swivel his waist around, and then you have to swivel the knees at the ball joint, and then you peg these in here and here kind of just tuck this down and this pops in. I feel like this is supposed to clip in better, but it's not really doing it. But in any case, you can go ahead and give him his target master partner, and there you go. You have Crosshairs and Pinpointer reunited after 30 years. But it's really cool. I'm really hoping that we get the other target masters. What is it? Point Blank and Spoil Sport? No, Sure Shot. Spoil Sport is his partner. In any case, I have Top Spin and Twin Twist from Legends, so I have their target master partners just waiting for figures of them to be reunited with, because I think this looks really cool. I'm happy to see these two guys together. It didn't really make sense for Windblade to have a target master, but it wasn't just any target master. Like, they really did make the three partners that are supposed to go with these guys and just packed them in because they didn't have anywhere else to put them. So if you have them and you've held on to them and you know where they are, you can finally put them together as they were meant to be. Alright, so transformation is pretty simple. Again, it's exactly the same as Ratchet or Ironhide. So you open up the little window here, rotate the head down inside, and then close it up, and actually close it flush. Don't peg it like usually you have these little divots here for this bar to rest in, so it's a little off, but this time you want it to be flush. You're going to come around to the back and pop this down like that. You're going to rotate the hands up like this so that they're kind of flush, and then this peg here will peg into that peg hole there on the inside of the forearm. So then there you go. At this point, you're going to rotate this whole section. And I don't know why mine is kind of tight, but it does eventually rotate around. When you come down here, I guess you can push these back, but these will flip up, and then this section will open. So this will flip up, this will open up. You're going to peg the legs together very easily, just like that. And then this will kind of make sure that's lined up, and then you will close this up all around this. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to push this section up and snap that into place, because it kind of just shores everything up where it's supposed to go. And then you will, this will peg in, hold on, what am I doing wrong here? I must have this just a little off. If you want to go ahead and close these up, you can. It kind of also helps to make sure everything's in the right spot where it's supposed to be. There we go. I just had everything a little misaligned, but there you go. There is the transformation. I think it looks good. There's definitely a lot less red in this mode, and I think it hurts because of that. It's very much blue. Now, I believe the original toy was very similar in the vehicle mode. It was mostly blue, but I don't know. Whereas the original G1 toy was kind of a weird Cybertronian car mode, which I guess this technically is as well. The vehicle mode just doesn't invoke the nostalgia of the G1 toy as much as the robot mode does. Like, I really think the robot mode looks like the original G1 toy. Not perfect, but it definitely looks close enough that you're like, oh yeah, of course, that's Crosshairs. Whereas if you just saw this without knowing the robot mode, you wouldn't immediately think Crosshairs. It's just kind of a blue rectangle. I mean, again, it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I just don't think the vehicle mode is as successful at being Crosshairs as the robot mode is. But you can connect these up top here if you would like. I like to kind of open this up. I think it's fun to kind of open this up, and then you could have like the Target Master hang out back here or something like this. I mean, that's just, you know, my imaginative play there. It's not really meant to be. It's not how the instructions have you do it, but you can close this back up. And then if you wanted to transform him back into the vehicle, no, he's not a vehicle, he's a gun. Haha. Anyway, you can go ahead, transform him back into his target master mode. And then you could peg him in up here as well. I really feel like, I guess I'm used to the Battle Masters from Siege where the arms kind of peg into the joint up here. That's something that I really think Siege got right in these older Takara action. God, what is wrong with my brain today? The older Takara Target Masters didn't hold together as well. I feel like the Siege ones are really solid. But there you go. He could peg in there as well. Rolls decently, although I will say that the plastic for the tires seems a little cheap, but it's not terrible. He holds together pretty well. All in all, pretty good looking vehicle mode. So I like Crosshairs a lot. I mean, yes, it's kind of the second repaint of a mold that we've already had, but I like this mold. I liked it as Ironhide. I loved it as Ratchet. I like it even more as Crosshairs. I definitely think the mold is more successful at being Crosshairs in the robot mode as opposed to the vehicle mode, but it doesn't bother me. I think the vehicle mode is fine, especially just because I think the robot mode is so good that it makes up for it. The color scheme is great. The stickers are great. Articulation is good. Transformation, pretty simple, not too bad, especially if you're comfortable with this mold from Ironhide and Ratchet. You have no problem transforming it again. This gun that they include, the one from Ironhide, is fine. I'm glad that they gave him some kind of weapon, but if you do have that Target Master partner from that previous Legends release, then it definitely gives you even more incentive to pick this up so that you can go ahead and complete your Crosshairs. And then here's hoping we do get the other two Autobot Target Masters as well. I could even see them doing one mold and having it work for both Point Blank and Sure Shot. I think if they, tweaked it a little bit, they could, or put something kind of in the middle, I think that they could definitely make one mold and have it work for both. Just with slight retooling and definitely different color schemes, obviously. But I think they can make one mold and have it work for both, and then we finally have all three of our Autobot Target Masters. I'd be very excited about that. So fingers crossed that does happen. I know Spinister is also in this wave, which I also got and will be reviewing hopefully tomorrow. But he's one of the junior Decepticon Target Masters that have the two smaller companions. They did the Target Masters for them were smaller than the full-on Target Masters, and we already had Scoop way back in the Generations line a couple years ago. He came with two Target Masters. I got to fish him out. But in any case, it's neat to see that they're giving the Target Masters some attention, especially with Battle Masters being kind of a big part of the line this year, and I think continuing into Earthrise. So I would love to see all of the Target Masters finally get made. We got all the Decepticon Target Masters back in Titan's Return. Would love to see them finally do the Autobots now. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.